Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week, I predicted the number 1 would be Frozen 2, number 2 would be Knives Out, number 3 would be Queen and Slim, number 4 would be Ford versus Ferrari, and number 5 would be A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And I only got 2 out of 5 of my predictions right for this weekend, but hey, it's better than a 0, which is what I was getting for a while. Although it might be disappointing that I didn't get another 5 like last weekend. Who cares? I'm just glad it's not another 0 immediately after I get a 5 out of 5 correct. So let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, Frozen 2, once again holding over pretty well for obvious reasons, making $85 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $287 million. If you want to know how that compares to the first movie, it's domestically $113 million behind outgrossing the first movie, but it's definitely going to get there very soon. Worldwide, it is sitting at $738 million, so that's not only $262 million away from getting to $1 billion worldwide, which is obviously a great achievement, but it also has $534 million to go to outgross the first movie's overall run. So this is obviously very exciting for fans of this movie, for the people that made it. Will they make a Frozen 3? Most likely, I think. I think the most popular thing to do with certain movies that get sequels is to make a third one and complete a trilogy, so I think we'll be getting a Frozen 3 at some point. I don't know if it'll be sooner or about the same time as it took to make this one, but hey, whatever. If they make a good movie out of it, I'm totally cool with it. I am a little disappointed, though, because I thought this movie just was a little lackluster and not as good as the first one, but the fact that it's making a ton of money, I'm not mad at, because it's expected, and I've just kind of grown to accept that, because I know there are tons of fans of this movie and they really appreciate what they did, and who am I to take away that joy from them? All I can state is just my personal opinion. Number 2, we have Knives Out, making $27 million, and that adds to a domestic total, because it opened up on a Wednesday, to $41 million. Now, this is the second highest opening weekend for Rian Johnson. Obviously, The Last Jedi is his highest, but it is out of his other films too, like Looper, Brick, and Brothers Bloom. It is his highest opening weekend, so that's really great for him already. Worldwide, it is sitting at $70 million, so not only is it $30 million away from already getting to $100 million, but it is only $10 million away from doubling its $40 million budget, which is great. I'm so happy that this, not just a murder mystery film, but an original film that's not based on anything before, is actually about to do very well at the box office. I know Rian Johnson has stated that maybe he'll consider making another one if this movie does well, so I'm all up for that. It's already outgrossed his other film, Brothers Bloom and Brick, and it has $25 million to go to outgross Looper domestically, and worldwide it is also already outgrossed Brothers Bloom and Brick, and it has $100 million to go to outgross Looper. But I think it definitely will outgross Looper for sure, like domestically for sure, but also worldwide. I know $100 million seems like a lot, but considering how much of a big opening it had, I think it definitely has a chance. It's obviously not going to outgross Star Wars, but if it can outgross all of his other films aside from that, that's totally cool. Number 3, we have Ford versus Ferrari, making $13 million, adding to a domestic total of $81 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $143 million, so that's great. It's getting very close to doubling that $97.6 million budget very soon. I was very certain that it would hold over well because of some Oscar buzz, and I think that's exactly what's happening here. It outgrossed Night and Day by $5 million. I think I forgot to mention last weekend about Night and Day, or maybe I did, or I think I just forgot to mention Walk the Line domestically, but either way, it just outgrossed Night and Day. I don't think it'll outgross any other James Mangold film domestically. I think it's just kind of right there in between Night and Day and Walk the Line, but hey, this is still pretty good for him. Worldwide, it has $44 million to go to outgross Walk the Line, so I think maybe that'll happen. I think that's more realistic, because domestically it is starting to die down. We're getting to a very busy part of the year, but worldwide, I think it will have a chance. Number 4, we have A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, making $11.7 million, adding to a domestic total of $34 million, and on a budget of $25 million. There's still no worldwide total, but I think eventually when one comes out, it will be able to double that $25 million budget that it has. It's already not too far off from it right now. It only needs $16 million more to go, and I think it held over pretty well this past week, so I think it will domestically at least be able to cross that point, but hopefully some worldwide numbers can help push it over too. Number 5, we have Queen and Slim, making $11.6 million, so this and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood could flip-flop by the time the official numbers come out, but that adds to a domestic total, because it also opened up on a Wednesday like Knives Out, to $15 million. Now, the budget is estimated to be around $17 to $20 million, somewhere around there. I'm just going to do rough estimate, $20 million, so it has a ways to go to double that budget, similar to A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Hopefully a worldwide total could come out and push it up, but this had a decent opening for it already, and I think more people might be attracted to it as the weeks go by, considering this was a very busy Thanksgiving kind of holiday, so maybe it'll hold over pretty well, and especially when worldwide numbers come in. Number 6, we have 21 Bridges, making $5 million, adding to a domestic total of $19 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $22 million, so it's $11 11 million from crossing its initial production budget of 33, but it still has a long ways to go to double that, and I'm still not positive that it will do that at all. Maybe it'll get released in a worldwide place and the numbers just boom, which would be really great for the people behind this movie, but I just don't really see that happening with this movie. Number 7, we have Playing with Fire, making 4 million, adding to a domestic total of 39 million. So finally, this has outgrossed Andy Fickman, She's the Man, domestically by 6 million. So this is no longer his lowest grossing film domestically. Worldwide, it is sitting at 45 million, and it still has a ways to go to outgross She's the Man worldwide. It has 10 million more to go, and then once it does that, it will officially no longer be the lowest grossing Andy Fickman film. I think it definitely will get that 10 million that it needs, and that's pretty good. It still hasn't doubled its $29.9 million budget, which would be around, if I'm correct, $59 million. It has 14 million off from that worldwide, but hey, it made more money than I thought it would, I guess. Number 8, speaking of making more money than I thought it would, Midway, making 3 million, adding to a domestic total of $50 million, and worldwide it is sitting at 106 million. So that's pretty good that it crossed its initial production budget of 100 million, but it still has 94 million to go to double it. So it's still kind of a big flop here, but hey, it was able to surprise me in certain ways. It made more money than I thought, and you can tell that it has a big fan base behind it because it's made this much money. And also you can look at the comments section on my Midway review and literally see all the boomers coming out to defend this movie. It was to the point where I was like, maybe I should make a video called Okay Boomer, the comments on my Midway video, but I don't know, maybe I'll just address it when I talk about 1917 because that looks like a much better war film, or maybe I will make that separate video. I don't know. Sound off in the comments what you want. But anyways, number 9, we have Joker. It was at number 10 last week, but it bumped up just a bit, making 2 million, adding to a domestic total of $330 million, and worldwide it is sitting at 1.048 billion, which is great. Obviously, I thought it was going to leave last weekend, so the fact that it bumped up just a bit was very surprising, but sitting at number 10, I think is definitely going to be leaving Last Christmas, making 1 million, adding to a domestic total of 31 million, and worldwide only 67 million. So hey, they doubled their $30 million budget and made 7 million over that. That's pretty good. It's still not the big smash hit that I think Universal kind of wanted for this holiday season, but whatever, it did a little bit better than I thought, I guess. But now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, I'm going with Frozen 2. Number 2, I'm going with Knives Out. Then number 3, Dark Waters. I believe it's expanding this week, so I think it has a good chance of getting up there. Number 4, Ford versus Ferrari. And number 5, this might be unlikely, but I'm going with Playmobil the movie because why not? But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.